Welcome everyone to Calling the Audible. I am your host, Peeze, Della. I'm your host for half the night this evening. Wait,
what?
Because
breaking news.
Yeah, Simon Dagenais will be taking over for Division 4 as the host, as we did last week.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
And then after Div 4, we'll have Terry Tam.
Oh, Terry's
making
hosting
an in-studio appearance as I get to leave early.
So Terry's hosting is what you're saying?
Terry's, well, no, I don't know. It's up to you. I don't care. I'm not sure.
How bad could it be? How much worse could it be than me?
Not a lot.
There you go.
It's
pretty much the same.
But how are we going to do awkward introductions?
Well, we'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there.
Who are you?
I'm not there yet. So
excuse me.
We started off camera talking about rules committee members not knowing some of the rules in FEF. Simon. And and we
I was not here. I just showed up.
Well, just now.
Oh, this it's the 5.
You no longer need to touch a guy who's on the ground.
Oh, that's the 5.
But anyway, we'll see if we get to that later in the day. For now, however, this is Division 6.
Yes.
So to your point, I'm your host, Peeze, Della, Reeze. I am in immeasurable pain. And I'm joined by my host, who's wearing almost real clothing.
Close to. Almost there.
Simon.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself.
I'm Simon. I don't like to be late. I'm sorry, guys. This is my fault.
Without coffee.
To be fair, you're the one who's consistently late. So if you put all the minutes together, I'm still very far ahead.
I think he's right.
Stop living in the past.
You tried to start. Trying to start the clock.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Yeah, because I keep looking back like, I swear I pressed this button.
I told you I'm unplugged it.
So let's get this straight. Simon arrives late, without coffee. He makes me drag my ass in here on a day that I'm on so many painkillers. I'm gonna be terribly incoherent. You unplugged the clock. All you've done is work against the show so far.
Well, this is the funniest thing I've heard in a long time. You were just trying so hard to start
trying to keep the boat afloat. Is the
this one's gonna take water soon.
Is the eagle at master?
Can we say that in English? Take water, like the boat.
Hi, Eagle.
Hello.
Tell the good people about yourself.
Hi, my name is Eagle. I'm the one who's supposed to keep these two in check. It's not going well.
The clock's unplugged.
Where'd you catch this weekend of 6?
Oh man. So, I caught a few games in Division 6. Hot Sauce Sports is still trash.
I love how you bet the 3-1 though. So, and without full roster, except for 1 week. So
except for 1 week, but then again, still not good.
I mean, that week was a shutout.
I mean, yeah, but it's easy when you put yourself in the easiest division with a stacked roster.
Nope, not stacked. Adequate roster.
Oh, that's true. That's true. They didn't let you.
They didn't let me have my normal roster.
Listen,
it's funny because like you knew during the introductions that the next thing we're gonna do is do game recaps.
No, I don't know what you're gonna do. Am I on your head? What am I, a magician?
It's in the script.
A fortune teller? Yeah, but we always go off script. Okay, so one game that really surprised me: Rosedale Renovations beat DGC.
Yeah,
that's a shocker to me. Not that Rosedale Renovations is not good. They're new. They're learning. It's only week 4. From what I've noticed in the previous weeks, they were struggling. And I expected DGC to be, like you said last week, DGC is one of the best teams in Division 60. Losing to a team that's still trying to find their ways is pretty shocking to me.
Yeah, I agree. Another new team, however, putting our big scores, B-Ballers beating up the Real Bros of Simi Valley. We have that later.
60-12.
Yeah, we have a little bit on them later in the show, so I won't spend too much on that. Brewers getting another one, beating your Bud Knights.
I saw that game.
But so are Bud Knights good?
Bud Knights, man, best defense in football.
They allowed 32 points.
Just Jeff Lefebvre though. So funny story about this game. Jeff Lefebvre was playing on field 3 the one I was scorekeeping last night at Ibaya. Yeah, at Ibaya.
Yes.
Sorry.
Nobody cares what location.
So, except Mogan, who cares about these things? Yeah. Is it rostered? No, they're going to suck. Anyhow, so Jeff Lefebvre was playing before. And as we were walking away, he asked Lance Daniels if he could film this game because Jeff always wanted to have one of his games as a quarterback filmed.
Mm-hmm.
So he said it would be cool to see myself play quarterback. I could learn from it and stuff like that. So, but then in my back of my mind, I said, "You're playing Bud Knights. You really want that to be on film?"
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a real education.
the best defense in
Best defense
football.
ever.
And then every time I would look at their field, Jeff Lefebvre would be making plays, man. Like, he's beating the rusher, he's buying time, he's throwing across his body, like perfect 15-yard on the sideline balls. It looked impressive, honestly. Every time I would look towards, like, okay, so there's a game going on. So after the game, I spoke to Stefano. I said, so how's that game? He's like, actually, Brewers played really well. Like, they had some incompletions. It's not like, it's not Div 1. The ball's not coming on super hot. You know how Stefano is when he's describing games.
Yeah.
But at the end of the game,
he gave me a description for a game I didn't ask him about, and it's twitching. I can't even read on the air.
but listen, at the end of the game, but Brewers offense did really well. Jeff Lefebvre was all over the place, man. 4 touchdowns, some rushes, a pick 6 on defense. They won by 2 scores. They won convincingly. They really gave Bud Knights a good game, but Brewers was the best team that night.
The one thing I noticed when we played them in a scrimmage, Jeff Lefebvre had trouble reading defenses that shift and baited, like, from different looks.
Yep.
from
Show 4-1, do something else.
show for one, or guys just shoot to gaps and other guys break into deep coverage. He struggled with that, but I mean, that's not a thing you see in 6D.
No, not so much.
So, he's playing against a group of guys who've played together a long time, who have that kind of communication,
Yep.
that can do that. Whereas now, Bud Knights, they're a good defense, to your point.
Yes.
But they're static defense, right? The
Yeah,
defenses they play are the defenses they play.
Yeah, they're pretty much going to play the same thing the whole. Well, it's not that they play the same thing. Their defense schemes switch, but they don't move guys around on the field. So everybody plays.
Yeah.
If I play corner left, I always play corner left, and then the plays changes a little bit, who's dropping and stuff like that. But after a few plays, who's able to and who's not, and who who they feel confident enough to drop. So there's 3 guys that could play safety in that team. There's 2 others that will never drop, right? So once you know that, you could sort of always see what they're trying to do, and it becomes obvious that what they're doing. It's something that a lot of teams in lower divisions, including Division 5, Division 6, a lot of people do, because this guy's my safety, so he's going to be the one that drops all the time.
Yeah.
But once that becomes known to the other team and the quarterback knows exactly who's dropping, you could just look at him, and the rest of the field sort of appears, right? Like when you know which guy on the field's dropping, the guys next to him will not, which means this is good, like moving pieces, and then you already know where you want to go with the ball. Whereas if one place somebody else goes deep, then it changes everything. Your pre-read
And
changes.
even like the angles, like, so you're dropping deep, but a guy who's typically dropped deep drops at a different angle as to undercut, let's say, an expected post or whatever, and then like the flat defenders all shift to a side. Like that's something that like you won't see a lot.
No, you won't see a lot. Like a guy who's moving, let's say, from the middle, trying to shoot
To
the
outside,
sideline.
yeah.
Right, so you're expecting your hook to be open, so you sort of look for something else and go back to him. But by the time you go back to him, expect him to be open like he was his last 6 plays. You're gonna get intercepted by the guy coming across, which is, again, it's not something we see very often in lower divisions. But when you see a few guys who's been playing in FPL for a long time, like Jeff Lefebvre, for instance, play in Division 6, it's something that he tries to do as much as he can. He shoots a little bit more. He gets guys to move from different zones to different zones to give different looks. And it's confusing for new guys who are expecting the same place to work over and over. That suddenly doesn't work anymore.
That's fair. In Division 6,
Why?
Vultures tied the pack. I was going to talk about the pack later anyway, so let's leave that one.
Such a confusing game, though.
Why?
Because it's the pack. Like, you never know what you're going to get from the pack.
Well, that again, so don't go further on that because we literally have that later in the script.
Should we change their name from The Pack to Mystery Box?
I mean, Mystery Box is a terrible name. So
What
no.
about from the pack to middle of the pack?
No, that's also not great. Ego, think of something with mystery and pack in it. And not mystery pack.
I mean,
Like, that was easy.
you kind of did the research yourself.
Mystery pack is better than mystery box.
D2, the Mighty Ducks.
4th and 20, man. Let's go 4th and
You want
20
that one?
against
Right.
4th and 20
420
against,
Blazing?
against Hurricane season. So last week we spoke about 4th and 20 with Stefano and yourself, really, where we said 4th and 20 at some point they're going to win a few games and they're going to be competitive and they're going to make the playoffs. Right? Like I went to the argument saying 4th and 20 are going to win a few games that we don't expect them to. They're going to be competitive for some reason and somehow they're going to end up winning. And this is exactly that kind of game for them. They won't put up 46 points. Their offense is not super high flying, but listen, they picked off Hurricane season. They play well. They shut them down to only 18 points. They scored 19 and won.
Yeah.
In close games, 14-20 are very good because it feels
They're
like
not
that.
going to score a ton.
They won't score a ton, but there's a lot of energy when you play against 14-20. Right? When the game's close, these guys are intense. Both quarterbacks threw 3 interceptions. So, that was a scrappy game.
What's interesting is Bradley Perrin threw 3 touchdowns, 2 of which went to... Oh, Brandon Perrin. Okay. Nice.
To himself.
Misread that. Yeah. Oh, man. To name your kids Brandon and Bradley. You're asking to misname your kids.
You like bees.
What?
You like bees.
I like bees.
Bradley.
Oh,
Brandon.
I guess. But just like they're so... It's like, when you have like 2 turtles that look similar and you just put nail polish on the back of one to differentiate them? Like... It's like
Or you put them bandanas of different colors.
I
I did that with my turtles when I was a kid. They bit me.
I don't think they want that.
So they bit me. And then we went on vacation. When we came back, they died.
When they came back or during your vacation?
During the vacation. We went for 2 weeks.
So you abandoned these turtles. So you left them for
They're
dead.
turtles. They had food. They're fine.
No.
And then, so we went for 2 weeks. One was found dead in the toilet. And my house is not the smallest of houses, but they climbed out of their aquarium and they walked across the house somehow. One was dead in the toilet. The other one was very dry under the calorifier. The heater, I guess. The
radiator.
Yeah, radiator. Very odd situation, but we lost both turtles. Michelangelo died. Because we put them bandanas.
Obviously. Hurricane season is a team I thought was going to struggle by virtue of their schedule they have so far. They're 1-3. I was surprised they got the win versus Channel 4 News team. But again, like you said, 4th and 20 is the kind of team. And it seems like Hurricane season have nothing but either the top teams under schedule or these tough, gritty teams that give everyone problems.
Listen, they lost to Vultures. Vultures is a very strong team in Division 6 this season. They lost by 5.
What's going on with your voice tonight?
I don't know, man.
Are you going through puberty like the time when you had those turtles?
I think it's lack of food. So they lost to Vultures by 5. Fair enough. Close game. I'm fine with that. They lost to Dirty Laundry 32-20. That's just disturbing to me.
Well, Dirty Laundry is a good team.
Yeah, but I was expecting more out of Hurricane season. Then they beat Channel 4 News team by 10, which is good. Now they lose to 14-20, and next week they got D2, the Mighty Ducks. They won't catch a break, man. They won't have any easy games. So if you drop these potential W's on your schedule, it's going to be a tough goal this season.
And then second half, you also have Vic in a Box, TBA, Warriors, The Pack, and Unknown Talent.
Blah.
Ugh.
That's at least 3 losses. That's at least 3 losses.
And, well, the Pack, you never know with these
But
guys.
that's what I'm saying. Is like the Pack 14-20 are these teams that just show up and annoy their opponents.
Yep.
Like you could easily lose any week to them. You know what I mean?
Which is the worst part is you show up, you're like, 14-20 should be able to win this game. Nope, lose by 20. Following week, they got no chance. Win by 1. Like, what happened? What did they do?
But why? Yeah, no, definitely. And you mentioned D2. They won this week. They beat Average Joe's 45-24.
Yep.
Last season, what we saw from Average Joe's was, and we're going to talk a little bit more to this, as a topic next in the show. But in this game, we saw them lose to a team we thought to be better. Average Joe's did that a lot in the spring season, where they would beat up on teams that they were physically more superior than, and lose often to more experienced teams. So now losing to the Mighty Ducks the way they did, it seems like it's more of the same.
Yeah, it's a little bit more of the same. Mighty Ducks is one of those teams where you don't want to play physical against them because they're the bigger, badder dude. They're all tall, big guys. So if you start playing physical football, they're just gonna box you out, and it's really what works really well for them. You need a lot of speed to beat the Mighty Ducks this season, and there's some teams have that. Not everybody has that, so you kind of have to find your way around.
Because they're not the fastest team. They're big. They're quick.
Yeah,
they're great in like short and intermediate areas. To your point, the way to attack them is you have to be faster.
You have to be fast. You have to make them move on defense. The more they move, the less comfortable they are. Because if you're hitting slow developing routes against them, they're gonna jump stuff and they're gonna be comfortable on defense. You have to shoot receivers at them that forces them into coverage, into moving. So forces the Mighty Ducks to trail in coverage, and that's when they weak. Same thing on offense. Is if you're able to box them out and you force them to go around you, you're usually very successful. But what they do really well is they're going to step in front of you expecting you to sort of try to trail behind him. And a guy like Renaud Saint Laurent doesn't really mind if somebody's behind him because he's like 6'6" and like 250 pounds of muscle.
Yeah.
So he really doesn't care.
And Matt Damon's legs seem to be back, to be honest. He tore his ACL a few seasons ago.
Yep.
He used to be one of the most mobile quarterbacks in FPF.
Yep.
But now he's not using it to run so much as just buy extra time for his receivers, move to his side, deliver a ball. Honestly, it's a new reinvigorated Matt Damon. I love what I'm seeing.
He runs a little bit. Like when the play's there, he doesn't force it. So the play's not necessarily called Damon's running today. It's just like if the rusher misses and nobody's open, I'll take off because it's there. I think it's something that you learned last season when he played with the Ducks, is that he came in as sort of a sub last minute guy, hoping to sort of help them offensively. And with that mentality, you're not looking to run 17 times in a game because you're right.
He also, since his injury, he hasn't done that.
No, but
in fact, he was running and moving in the pocket less than he's doing now.
He doesn't want to force it, but at the same time, you're like, if I throw the ball more, I get these guys more involved, and it's their team, right?
Yeah.
Like the whole purpose here is to help them be better, and if I run 17 times, they're not going to improve much.
Yeah.
So I think he learned that last season. It was very successful for them. He was playing in the pocket a lot more, and they won a championship. So when coming back, there's no reason for him not to do the same thing.
Simon, looking at some of the 0-1 loss teams, who do you find to be the most surprising of the bunch? If we look at unknown talent, no surprise there. We knew them from the Fall Cup. Scranton Stranglers, Warriors, Hot Sauce Sports, Dirty Laundry, Vultures, Vic in a Box, Average Joes.
I'm not surprised by Vic in a Box. Average.
See, I am. And here's
Really?
why. Because they don't have Max Bira.
Fair.
And they don't have Styles Trudeau.
Yeah, okay.
Their offense used to revolve around Styles Trudeau throwing a ball 10 feet on a line in the air, and Max Bira went to go get it.
Okay.
So, given that, so now they replaced him with Jordan McInnes.
Yep.
So that wasn't known to us in the preseason, but excellent addition. You still don't know how that's going to work, but more than that, Matt Pizzatoro never throwing, basically was never a quarterback.
Yeah.
And he's never really thrown an FPF. He's never had a full season quarterback at FPF. So that was a question. And he's actually been very good.
Yes, and I think there's a lot to the fact that, like you said, Vic in the Box used to rely a lot too much on the fact that quarterback has a cannon, Max Bira is an amazing receiver. What more do you need?
It's so hard to defend a seam thrown at 12 yards, like at 10, like on a rope, 10 feet in the air.
And the receiver knows exactly where it's coming, so the
He just jumps and
timing,
gets there.
the timing's perfect. So he just turns around, the DB's not expecting because he's looking at you, and then you sort of cut in his face and catch the ball, and the DB's caught off guard 6 times in a game. But I think that it shows that Vic in the Box learned from doing other things than just feeding Max Bira. Like this works for us. But in the game, we won't do it. We won't only do this. We'll also try to learn new things and do different things. And I find that this is proves that Vic in the Box are a good
Things that don't happen on other podcasts. That goddamn sound.
I mute it every time, and it turned itself back on.
Sure you do. Yeah, it shows that Vic in the Box learned playing FPF.
You have a virus. Your virus is dumbness.
Wow. Shots fired. Shoot some guns right now.
Sorry, you were saying?
I think that it shows that Vic in the Box knows more about FPF than we assume just because of how they use Max Bira. They learn plays that works really well for them. They learn how to use different receivers. These guys have been in the league for a few years now. Like, it's not their first season. It shows and it helps. So if it was their first season, maybe they'll try to go back to let's feed Max Bira again. Let's be successful. Let's win games. I find that now they said we don't have it anymore. We don't have the same quarterback. How can we adjust our offense so that we're still successful without these key plays that we used to have?
And shout out to my boy Dan Pizzatoro, feeding himself less. He's lost like 20 pounds. He gave me the exact number. It's over 20 pounds. So congrats to the dude. And he's being fed on the offense. He has a ton of catches, ton of yards. He's helped fill in a lot of that role, whereas before he was an ancillary role player on the team. So
yeah, but listen, somebody had to step up and do something, and I find that he's like he probably took it upon himself to say I'm good enough to be that guy. And one team that I'm also not shocked about, the one team that beat you guys, Warriors is a very good team. Yeah, and they've been in FPF for a little while. I'm shocked they fit in Division 6 with the guys that they have. They did drop a few guys.
fit. To find fit.
But that's the thing, right? Like I find
Wellgate.
that what Warriors could have done is they could have easily added an extra guy, play Division 5B, be very competitive.
Yeah.
By being in Division 6, listen. There's 100 reasons why these guys are in Division 6. It could be just because a lot of their guys didn't want to come back. They're missing guys. I don't think they cut players on purpose to play in Division 6.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a very strong team that does exactly what Division 6 struggles against. Very fast quarterback that moves around in the pocket, as a cannon for an arm, and they throw a lot of those.
Yeah.
Which is something very difficult in Division 6 to defend. And once you start using that to your advantage, you're able to score 40 bombs quickly, and you're up. Let's say you start on offense, you score 6 points, you're up 6-0. The other team comes on offense, throws an interception, you respond with one play touchdown, it's 12-0. It's very tough to play against because you feel like you're just getting beat on right away from the get-go, and it takes a lot of character from your team to be able to go back out there and stick to your game without trying to catch up.
Well, and to your point, like in our game, what I did was completely slow the game
For sure.
down.
That's what you should do.
But, in Division 6, I'm one of the more experienced quarterbacks, right? So
It's not your
they're-
first
they're
time.
they're not gonna see that every week, and they're gonna have teams that are gonna try to go blow for blow with them, and we've seen the results so far. The results are that the next 2 games are blowouts.
45-0.
Well, that was also the team was late because
Yeah, that's
car
the game.
accident.
But then 25-19 against 7-rounders. 7-rounders is a better team than the record shows.
They are, especially defensively.
Yeah.
They're good athletes. They the problem is quarterbacking on 7-rounders, as we discussed.
Yeah.
And that's an issue for a lot of 6 teams. So
Yeah,
it's not,
you're starting, you're learning, you're trying to catch up. But Warriors are playing against unknown talent
Yeah.
next week.
That'll be a fun game.
After the break. It should be a fun game because it's
If there's voting for Game of the Week this week, that should be nominated for Game of the Week.
because there's 2 teams that revolve around the same concept of fast-paced scoring and just being faster than the other team. So you're basically playing 2 similar styles that clash well against each other. Speed against speed, and I'm going to burn you over the top, you're going to burn me back over the top. So either it's going to finish 59-58, or let's be more realistic, like 47-46, or nobody is ever going to score. Because they're going to defend only that, and nobody's ever going to score.
So we have a highlight for Street film of unknown talent this week.
Okay.
It's Nicky Farinaccio scoring a touchdown and having a hell of an athletic touchdown celebration, as you'll see.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so
That's pretty good.
that's the kind of athleticism the Warriors need to look out for this
That's
week.
pretty good.
Side note, Nicky Farinaccio maybe shouldn't be in Div 6.
Listen, you
put
could be
it
an
out there.
athlete, but on that play he looked fast. So maybe
So insider knowledge.
you should cover that. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe you should.
Insider knowledge. After their week 1 loss, unknown talent added Nicky Farinaccio to the team.
Oh,
AJ Gomes introduced him,
okay.
and he said that he wanted him to give FPF a shot before bringing him automatically into Div 2.
Oh,
but
fun.
knowing that he's basically a Div 2 talent.
But knowing he can.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So
Thanks, AJ, for ruining Div 6.
Unknown talent's gonna be hard to beat for
Yeah.
anyone. They are. We thought they were the favorite coming in. The caveat was, can Alessandro Barazzoni stop turning the ball over? He's got only 2 interceptions thrown this season. They've added, and adding a guy like Nicky Farinaccio to a roster that's already stacked.
To me,
with guys' names whose the website can't load.
Barazzoni's playing really well, but he still depends too much on the deep ball.
Yes.
It's his one thing. It's like he knows he has a good arm. He knows I don't need to read the field. We're faster, right? Like it's true. Don't think that.
It's also true.
It's true, but when you win games with only 10 completions for 5 touchdowns, like at some point somebody's gonna stop it. Somebody's gonna say, "Let's play 3 deep at all times and
Mhm.
see what happens." And once that starts to happen a bit more,
Will
because
he have the patience to?
the more we'll talk about it, the more people are gonna pick up on it. At some point, he's gonna have to start throwing underneath.
I mean, the stat sheet should tell you.
Oh, so
5 seconds of research.
10 completions for 200 yards and 5 touchdowns. Enough said.
Yeah.
But this is like they play Pension Plan. Pension Plan is the sort of team where they're able to slow the game down and run their offense, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But they can't defend the deep ball well. They have good defensive players, but speed is not their thing. I mean, they're called pension plan for a reason.
They're old.
And
to be honest, we had speculated that there was a chance that, pension plan are the coaches of unknown talent and sealing our Cougars. We thought that the young guys would want to really show up their coaches and would put too much pressure on themselves and screw up. We were wrong.
Nope.
We were wrong.
3 interceptions for Vince Pisano is a little bit shocking to me. He usually secures the ball a bit more, doesn't throw that many interceptions. But it just shows that when you're undercutting routes that you're expecting from your coaches because they've taught you that way before over and over again, you're gonna get interceptions. Yeah, because he doesn't see it coming. Also, like we said, Division 6, you don't expect guys to come in from the corner position to shoot like a hook from the snapper. Yeah, right. So if that happens and the guy's coming full speed, and he touches the ball, it's not gonna go well for you.
Yeah, so Paisan Pisano not having a great season thus far compared to. I thought he would be one of the front runners for quarterback of the year. To be honest.
I assumed as much considering how he did last time they were in Division 6 last winter, but maybe it was a fluke.
No. What about anyone else on this list?
Heard it here first. Maybe your boy Mokan would agree with me.
Definitely.
Mokan's a hater.
He is a hater.
Mokan's a hater. Should have seen what he said to me today. It's like, I told him, so you're not coming to the podcast. He's like, no, I have to be with Carey Price today. You know how he is. I said, first of all, Mokan, you don't know how he is. Second, I know he gets lonely. You have to be there for him. I get
Someone's got to tie his skates, man.
There you go.
He's not going to do it himself.
He has pads. He can't do it himself. Green Monster beat Zone 6 Ballers.
What we're doing.
What are we doing?
I asked you what the list of 1-0.
Oh, sorry.
Lost and one lost teams. Be fast.
Wow. So lost. I just saw
surprisingly not the worst mistake you made on today's podcast or any podcast.
Listen, no, on any podcast I agree. Also, I didn't try to start a clock that's unplugged, so there's also that going involved for me.
Still no.
Still no.
In case you're wondering.
No, okay, so realistically,
tell me we're at like 24-ish minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
We're about 25-30.
All right, cool.
Okay, so last team I want to talk about, realistically, Vultures. I really like Vultures this season. I didn't have high expectations because every time I pick for them, they lose. So the last few seasons I've been very high on Vultures and they've let me down. So this season I decided to take a step back and said, I'll wait till I jump on the bandwagon. After their first game against Hurricane season, I was happy, but I wasn't ecstatic. But Vultures is a very strong team in this division.
See, for me, the one that surprised me was Scranton Stranglers.
Okay.
It's a team that I thought would be middle of the pack and would sort of like catch on later in the season and sort of be annoying in the playoff run. A team that can go like 1-3 to start and then really pose a threat later on. But they haven't done that. They've been excellent out of the gate.
They've been excellent, but I'm curious to see what they're gonna do next due to who they played. So they beat Zone 6 Ballers by a point in their first game, which is good. They've lost the Pension Plan, who have been underperforming. Mine loaded, no problem. So I don't know about you. They lost the Pension Plan by 6, and Pension Plan hasn't been the best Pension Plan team in recent memory. They've beat Green Monster, who's been the disappointment this season, and now they've beat Dog Pound, which is, in my opinion, a good team in Division 6. So kudos. But looking at the schedule, they don't have a lot of challenges upcoming. The Pack, Fat Diablo, Sharknado.
Sharknado's been playing well though recently.
Yeah, but do you think they're better than Scranton Stranders?
Not anymore.
Jeez, man.
I don't think that anymore.
So to me, that's 3 wins. 7th rounders and unknown talent is going to be fun games. Yeah, for them, it's going to be a good test right before the playoffs. So it should give us a better idea of where they actually stand. But until then, I think they're great. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a very good team. I just don't know how much stock I could put into their wins due to who they played.
Yeah. The Pack are 1-2-1. We seem to never know what we're getting from them. They're a veritable mystery box.
Mystery Pack.
Mystery Pack.
Still not great. Eagle, have you thought of something?
Pack of mysteries.
You can't even find synonyms.
Don't you have access to Google?
We all have access to Google.
No, we have a shorter.
I, for one, welcome our Google overlords.
Either way, their growth seems to be stunted, Simo. Why is that the case?
I don't know. Every season, I'm thinking this is the time. This is the season the Pack's gonna make the leap. Gonna have a 7-3 season. Is gonna have a good playoff push. They're gonna suddenly say, listen, let's play in Division 5 next season, and then they sign up for Division 6 and finish 3-7.
Can I postulate something?
Of course.
Too much of the offense runs through right and left court. 55% of teams' completions and about the same in yardage.
Gee.
Given what Division 6 has become and that the teams are getting better and better, more athletic each season. We just saw a dude with a goddamn backflip.
After a cartwheel.
After a cartwheel. After running the entire field.
Also true.
Given all that, can a team still be one-dimensional, expect to have success in Division 6 at this point?
I mean, Pick in the Box did it with Max Bura.
Yeah,
Right.
and ultimately got destroyed in the finals.
Yes, but then they also made the finals.
That's also
So let's not pretend like making the Super Bowl doesn't count as a nice
as,
achievement.
as Joe Montana fans often claim.
Oh, you lost, so that's worse than not making it. Okay, there.
We also have words of puzzle, enigma, and conundrum.
Conundrum of mystery.
Make it into a team name for the Pack.
The Pack Conundrum.
Pack puzzles?
The Pack Enigma.
Why do I have to tell you how to do your job?
The packening.
The packening.
That's just the same thing, but with an ing.
Yeah, but it's the packeting. It sounds serious. I just think that it's possible when the one-dimensional, one-player offense is a superstar that doesn't belong in Division 6.
Mhm.
Max Bura could be a Division 3-2 receiver, hands
Yes.
down, easily. So if you take a Division 2 receiver and put him in Division 6 and feed him the ball 10 times a game, you're going to win some games. I don't think Ryan Left Court is necessarily a Division 2 talent at the moment. I'm not saying he's never going to be. I'm just saying right now I don't see it. So they're funneling their offense around one guy. It might be time to spread the ball a little bit more. I'm not saying don't go to him anymore. Just maybe drop from 55 to 40%.
Yeah. Can Daniel Krebs and his boys do enough to earn a playoff berth? You know I hate predictions, but I know you love them, so I give you the question.
I think so. I think that considering how many teams are going to make it, 16 out of 20, if I'm
Yes.
correct. 16 out of 20. So a potential 3-6-1 record should get you into the playoffs. That's only 2 wins for the Pack moving forward. Since you already have 1 tie, 1 win, it's very plausible to me that they're going to win at least 2 of the next games.
And they have Scranton Stranglers, NWO, Replacements, Average Joes, Hurricane Season, and Fat Diablos.
Yeah, I could see at least 2 wins, maybe 3 or 4. I would love to see them go 5-4-1 at this point. Like win the next 4 out of 6. Have a good
And that
record.
would be good because they may be in that range where they get relegated to playing Div 6D playoffs, where they would be a very good team.
Yeah, that would be great for them if they're able to finish in that key range where they're relegated down somewhat and play as a top seed in Division 6D. It would be very good for them. They're gonna have an easier path to the finals, and they might be able to make some noise there. If they're stuck as a 16 seed, it might be a long playoff game.
Is this the best combination? Is this the best group of quarterbacks we've had in Division 6? I'm not talking about like when Jay Floriani threw in Division 6 or when
That was one guy.
Guadma Swaminadham threw in Division 6. I mean specifically the group of talent.
I really like the quarterbacks that we had last winter. To be honest with you, I think that we had like a group, but this season to me it's a bit different. It's a lot of guys who have a lot of talent, a lot of like potential, but most of these Division 6 games, there's a lot of running quarterbacks now. I see a lot of guys who scramble, buy time, use the fact that they're faster than the rusher or able to beat the rusher. So to me, listen, I'm not a mobile quarterback. Everybody knows this. I like to see pocket passers.
But
So
it doesn't
that's why
mean they can develop to become pocket
That's what I'm saying.
passers.
There's potential for them to be that. I
But
just
like,
don't see it
It,
happening now.
So interesting stat that I'm just looking at here. Only 6 quarterbacks in Division 6 have more than 100 attempts in 4 games, which means they're averaging most people are averaging less than 25 attempts a game.
there's also quarterbacks playing 3 games, and there's also that's
Yeah,
another thing.
it's
I
a-
mean, like not everyone's
Not-
played 4 games in Div 6.
So of the top 15 only of attempts, only 1 has only played 3 games. So
Yeah,
So, but like unknown talent last week, they only had 15
I thought there was
attempts.
more than that in that category.
And
It's
like-
me, isn't it?
Yes.
The 15.
Like
Guys,
Bears,
I have a lot of attempts.
it's you and Charles Duchesne and Sébastien Blanchette, and then afterwards it gets a little bit deeper. But yeah, There's
Like,
not too many.
If you look at it, like a guy like Barzoni only had 15 attempts last week.
Yeah.
I think he's a very good quarterback.
Well, the thing is, though, but looking at that, though, like, in looking, to me, the thing that best describes it is, and you look at the sort of the top five, you have Matt Damon and
Mhm.
Alessandro Barazzoni, and Matt Damon, we're like, okay, how is he even in this six?
Yeah, I don't understand how he was relegated so quickly. I remember playing against him
In Div 4.
back-to-back seasons. Listen, I don't know, man.
But, like, okay, so fine. So he sort of found himself again. He's going to be promoted. Alessandro Barazzoni,
Eventually.
fell into a loophole from fall. He's going to be promoted. Mark Bellini looks great for Average Joe's.
Yep.
Rick Castile, guy who I'm surprised can still throw in this division. Avery Lala, we all know, is going to be great and is already starting to be great. So, I mean, like, between the familiar names, like guys like Vince Pisano and Matt Damon.
Michael Sanchez, Greg Castillo, even Jordan Schwartz is playing well, even though the INT count's a bit high. 6 in 4 games is okay. But it's still, like, they're all...
You say that, but there's Michael DeGear has 15 interceptions. That's awesome.
The next one up is Shane Feinberg with 9. That's
Yeah.
also shocking to me.
That's the fact that Shane has 9 is shocking.
Yeah. Only 10 interceptions, only 10 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. For him, it's surprising.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I still think that there's... Yes, I agree with you. The pool of talent... How again? The pool of talent is... produce the right sounds.
Windows would like us to know that it's turned on storage sense.
Why would we care?
I don't know.
Why would we care?
I don't know.
So moving to 6D.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Like,
you have to be doing it on purpose. This
I'm
point.
not doing it on purpose. It's muted.
The best part is he was looking at us with his hands in the air. He was like, I don't know, and the sound popped up.
The combination of guys moving, in Division 6D, we're worried about B-ballers that would come in and immediately dominate the
Yep.
division. Despite the week 1 loss, they now seem to be doing just that. Will they be prepared, however, for a Division 6 playoff game, given that they're beating on teams that are far weaker than to play against in the playoffs?
I mean, beating on team is the right word.
They are beating on teams, though. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's 60-12.
60-12 against Real Bros of Simi Valley. 54-19 on Dirty Birds. 40-7 on Potatoes. And then the shutout against Bud Knights.
Like, that's bad.
What?
That's really bad.
Yeah.
man. Next week they have
It's almost as if you didn't look at this before.
Next week they have Los Siete Amigos. I think it's going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be one of their first
This
real
is
test of the season.
Div 6D, some of the best games
Yep.
coming up.
I think it's going to be a good game for both teams because it's a very explosive offense facing against what I believe in Los Siete Amigos is a more traditional, efficient offense instead of being super explosive.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be fun games. But overall, dropping 60 points in FPF is difficult.
There's not a lot of time. That's more points than minutes.
That's
By
so
a-
many points.
By a lot of minutes.
That's so many points.
And they didn't have 5 plays at the end of the game.
Yes, you're running on. You're essentially scoring on almost every play. 72 points in a game is like it's a lot, man.
Yes, it's a lot. It's a lot.
60 points.
So will they be ready for a proper once they get promoted to play a Div 6 playoff game?
The problem is, this could go both ways. So they could either be blowing teams out of the water because they're that good, and it's sort of like the Air Force One of 2019, right?
Mhm.
So they're just a better offense, and they're able to do things, and they're running an efficient football scheme against guys who don't know how to defend against it. Or it's guys that just consistently throw 40 bombs because quarterback could throw 40 bombs, receivers are just so much faster than everybody else, and we just don't drop. Like, we're just beating out on people. If case A, efficient offense,
Mhm.
then I don't see them having an issue against tougher defenses. If case B, and they're just abusing teams that don't know what they're doing,
Johnny Casati, 13 of 22. Of those 13 completions, 9 of them were touchdowns. 9 touchdowns.
you know that
9.
isn't that the record 9?
Eel?
It's 9 or 10.
Yes.
Just look it up.
It's harder than you think to look up.
No, you go
literally
on the
have
record.
5 hours tonight.
No, it's also on the
Oh, yeah, we
record
have
list.
records.
We have a record book. Single game, touchdown passing, it's there. It's more difficult than you think. Really clicking twice on your mouse is difficult.
You you mentioned.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been stuck for a little while also.
How much time
Thank
do we have
you.
for this to load?
You mentioned Los Siete Amigos. Did we see this coming?
No. I wasn't expecting them to be a dominant team in Division 60. I wasn't expecting them to be probably one of the best, like the contender in Division 60. That's to me. That's the thing is coming into this season. I thought they would be one of those teams that I didn't have expectations for. Finish 5-5. Congratulations, it's a good season. And see what you guys do in the playoffs. Finish above 5-5. I'm happy for you guys. You had a good season. Finish under 5-5. Well, we didn't know them.
So rapid fire on our team of the week.
Confirmed, 9 is the record. So Gianni Cassani now shares that record with Alex Nadeau-Pieux from Winter 2019 as well.
Not a bad.
That's pretty good.
Well, that's it. There's no other.
No one
than
else
The
is
only
on
two
nine.
at 9. Paul Lapierre, Kevin Lubin, Styles Trudeau, Jordan Rossi, Kevin Wyeth, Liam Mahoney,
So a lot of 8.
Joseph Buffone, Marco Mastiello had 8. Yeah, but 9 is the official record, which he's now tied.
So
Have you ever thrown more than 6?
Me? Yeah, I've thrown 7, 7 or 9 or 8, 7 I think.
Most of them.
Interceptions or touchdowns?
Ayo. You don't want to dabble into the interception awards game.
Okay, so quick fire on our team of the week, McDo.
McDo, yes sir.
2-1.
Yep.
They lost to an experienced team of Fighting Tigers.
Yep.
And then beat an experienced DGC. How do you rank them in 6D?
Very high. They're like they're in my top 8. To me, they're one of the best teams in Division 60. I think they're gonna finish as a strong team with like a good seed in Division 60. I don't think they're gonna get related upwards. I think they're gonna stay in Division 60, but they're gonna have a strong. I could see them finishing like number 6 overall.
3 QBs have played this season. The hell is going on? Who should they stick with? Essene Cardinal, Victor Nolin, or Louis Philippe No?
Whoever they want, it doesn't matter. 3 quarterbacks. All they do is
Really,
win.
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I think that McDo as a whole, it's a bunch of guys, it's a bunch of friends playing together. And if they want to go with multiple quarterbacks, they all seem to run similar systems. It seems to work. I think they're trying to find whoever they want to stick with. For now, they're 2-1, so I got no complaints.
Have they improved from fall? And what's the next area of growth they'll need to focus on for long-term success?
One single quarterback.
They also improved in getting jerseys.
So win-win. The revolving
They're
door.
not of the Hamburglar, right?
What?
They're not of the Hamburglar.
Man, that would have been so good.
I'm just not sure to answer your question.
It's
McDo.
the mascot from
Yeah, I know, but I
McDonald's.
don't understand the phrasing of your question. They're not of?
Yeah, the jerseys are not with him on
Oh, no, they're not. They're just yellow.
It would have been great.
They're basically special sauce.
No, but you could have like a guy stealing a ham, and they're McDo.
Yeah.
That could have been pretty good.
it. Or like a football. Like the Hamburglar, but with a football and a bun.
Also possible, but I'll
Games of the week.
Games of the week.
So this is actually going to be reasonably fast because we're technically on bye week. There is
Yeah,
no
but we're not,
games
no.
this
Are we?
weekend.
What?
Do we have a podcast next week?
Yes.
Yes. Because
Okay.
there's still games on Monday, Wednesday.
Okay.
But there's no
very
weekend
in-depth
games.
coverage.
We're gonna go deep.
So we're going to go
That's
with
so sexy.
Division 6 first.
Okay.
Okay.
The only game
It's a game I can't pick.
is Vic in a Box versus Hot Sauce Sports.
Hot sauce by
Hey.
50. That's what I always say.
You always say that. It used to be like 80, but then
No, I'm quarterback, so it's 50.
no, I think that honestly, if I have to break this game down, the one thing that Vic and Box is doing well this season is they're controlling the pace of the game.
Mhm.
They're playing their style of offense and they're making the other team sort of keep up and follow against them. The one thing that's going to be difficult for them is again the Hot Sauce Sports is I believe that's the one thing that Hot Sauce Sport does well is taking the lead and just we're going to slow this game down or speed this game up, whatever, but you control the pace of the game.
I feel like whoever starts with the lead will maintain the lead.
I
Like,
believe
I don't think there's going to be a lot of...
it's one of those games where whoever starts with the lead is going to control the pace of the game and force. So if they score first play, they go out and they score on one play. Hot Sauce Sports is going to try to do the same. Go out and score really quickly and just sort of keep up with them. Whereas if they take a 12-play drive and finally score at the 1 and finally punches it in, you guys are going to come out and take an 8-play drive and slow the game down and whatever's going to happen. So I think it's going to be a fun game to watch and it's going to be much closer than it would have been if Punch Panda would have played Nick in the Box.
Fair.
And in Division 6D, the only game of the week is Monday, 10 o'clock, Chocolate Barracudas versus McDo.
Yes, sir.
Give me. I'm more savory than sweet. So give me McDo over chocolate barracudas.
Chocolate Barracuda's been struggling a bit this season. McDo was not. I don't care if they have a fourth quarterback this game. I'm going crazy next week. I just. But give McDo.
Thank you, Simon.
Thank you,
For
Peeze.
joining the show. Thank you, Eagle. No thank
you to Windows.
No thank yous to Windows or the FPL website.
So what are we going with? The packing.
The packing. Sounds like a B movie.
What are the odds of us being of a big enough influence for them to change their team names?
I mean, I can change it at any point in time. So
Neck Dana.
We can make our own truth. But until next time, thank you all for letting me make my own truth.
Make a pistol sound. It wasn't that hard.
Pew, pew, pew,
That's the
pew.
pistol sound.
It's not Star Wars.
It is now.
Pew, pew.